Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Heritage Hip Hop, where we introduce you to your future favorite artist today. And today, I got a visionary dignitary who's God of the Kings. Think about that. What is a God King? Let's ask him. We go across the water to New York to talk to my man. Introduce yourself to the people.
Yo, what's good, man? It's your boy King F.L.O. You already know, Federal District, PYM, Wu-Tang Management, Street Heat, Stoneheads. We in the building. I'm happy to be here. You know what I'm talking about, man. Thank you for having me on the show. One of my favorite shows. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that. Man. Yo, it's been a minute since we talked, because the last time I talked to you, we had a group Federal District conversation.
Yeah, yo. I remember.
And since then, Wu-Tang Management has jumped on. I've seen you working behind the camera, and I've seen you make a lot of boss moves inside and outside of your own brand as well.
Absolutely.
Tell me what keeps King F.L.O active and why he's not being one thing and not the other.
It's, you know, what makes me jump from different skill to different skill set is just the changing environment of the entertainment industry. It's, you know, technology has made it so accessible for people to have studios in their crib, and it's ever changing, and the way that things are distributed and all of that shit is online. So everything, you got to learn how everything works, otherwise you're gonna get left behind. So my driving factor is, you know, I still maintain the passion of, you know, creating music and going to the studio, but my driving passion has gone from just creating music to now my mindset is that of a content creator. So I want to create content more. You know, I love making my music, and that's my main thing that I love to do. But now I just want to see content be put out there and know that I had something to do with creating it. And, you know, a lot of my intellectual properties are out there, and people don't even know that I had a hand in it. So it's like, you know, it feels good that people are pushing it and don't even know that it's me that's, you know, behind it a lot of the time. So it's dope.
You know why I respect you on a very high level is because the intelligence that you show in your creation is not only lyrical. I think if you wrote a screenplay or a book, you could be a bestseller. And the reason why I say that is because if you take the same time it takes for you to describe and pen a rhyme, I think you could do the same thing to describe and pen a movie or a script that is very life-giving. Yeah. Why is the language of life so important to King F.L.O, and why does it come out in everything he does?
I think that, you know, it's just a matter of, I always have to give everything all that I got. It doesn't matter what I do. You know what I'm saying? So everything that I put my hand in and that I touch, you know, I leave a piece of me with it. So that's a big part of why, you know, it's in everything that I do, because it's just the love that I got for what we're doing, man. A lot, you know, I feel like a lot of the part of the game that's missing is the love, man. People don't love what they're doing anymore, and they just doing it to mass assemble. So it feels like it's mass assembled. It feels like an assembly line put these artists together and stuff like that. So, you know, I think it's just the love that I put into it, man. It's not even just with me, but it's with anybody that I work with or that I come into contact with. I just have to leave a piece of me with them, and they leave a piece of them with me too. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it's just, you know, that fuels everything that I do too. It's just that feeling, that energy, that synergy that you get when you're working with a great group of people, and that shit just boosts your morale and makes you want to create more, you know?
Synergy and energy are twins.
Yeah.
Because energy is the will to do, and synergy is the will to work together.
Right.
Why do you think synergy is lost in hip hop when synergy actually makes hip hop that much more? That makes it better. Why do you think it's lost?
Because you know, everybody, you know, I think it's like more of like a flash now. It's like being flashy now, instead of, you know, people putting thought into what they saying. They just saying whatever's catchy or whatever's popping, and everybody is trying to outshine each other. So there's no like, yo, my man's is doing good, let me be, you know, let him be great and let him shine at the moment. It's like, nah, I gotta outshine this person right away. You know what I mean? I gotta be one step better than them. And that, that's always been the game, but I think you just noticing it more because of social media and stuff like that. And you see people. So it kind of, certain people who can stand that will work together, and that will create an even better atmosphere or even better. But then again, other people who don't and aren't able to create synergy, especially working with each other. That's why you get like a lot of beefs and a lot of people that don't agree with each other, or they just putting together songs just to, oh, this is a popping song, so I want to make a song that sounds exactly like whoever dropped it. And now it becomes cookie cutter, and everybody does auto tune, and everybody just talking about doing drugs. So it just becomes soulless and lifeless.
But you know what's sad though is that we keep bringing that up, but that is a trend within hip hop. Because when Das Effects did the Iggity style, everybody was doing the Iggity. When Run DMC came out, a lot of people wanted to do that cadence style, and they didn't do it right.
Right.
I mean, look, Redman's my favorite rapper of all time, and look at Joe Sinister and Human Wreck. They were like Redman clones. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So we have always had that, but the cream always rose to the top.
Right. And that's a lot of the problem too, is that and I noticed just from being on the underground scene how I am, a lot of the cream ain't rising to the top. It's so many dope artists on the underground scene that I just have been able to work with and been able to just be around, and how they create and how it's crazy. And that's the freshness that we need in the game. But the game has become so, pay to play and this and that and the other thing, that it's like, it's hard for them to get out there. And that's another thing that I like to do is I like to, not saying that I'm like, oh, this mega superstar, but I'm doing a little bit better than I was, and that a lot of these artists are struggling more than I am. And so I like to go back and, show these artists a way to do it, help the artists get the paperwork right, and help these artists do these things that, people ain't telling them, because a lot of the time it's, these gatekeepers and stuff like that, they're not telling you how to do what you need to do, but everybody can do it. You just got to know how. You have to have the knowledge to do it.
Well, anybody looking for that knowledge, hey, you can always come across the water to Jersey to talk to Karev at Heritage Hip Hop.
You know what I'm saying?
Flo will tell you, we keep our word over here. And when we build you up, we build you out of love and respect, not because we want to rape your pockets or something. So Flo is right when he talks about that. But I want to ask you this question then, because there's something that you said earlier that I'm going to harp on, that's building content. People mistake music for content, where music is mostly a promotion tool. How does content keep your music fresh, and why do you need consistent fresh content to keep your music fresh?
It's like this. I could put out a song and people might gravitate to the song and love the song and, connect with the song, but they don't really have a way to connect with the artist and to see where the artist is coming from, or to see like a day in the life, or even just a trip in the mind of a creative. So building content helps you to connect with people on a level where you otherwise would just be a song. So like back in the day, you would hear a song from an artist, and you would think that the artist based off the song, but now you can go and delve deeper into their content and see, oh, this artist got kids, and this artist, does crazy stuff on ATVs, or this artist likes to go fishing, or this artist, you know what I'm saying? And you say, oh, he's more like me. You know what I'm saying? It's like a connection between the artist and the creator and the consumer. And that's why building content rather than just, thinking that music is just gonna get, music is dope. But you making a song and you want to get that song placed in a movie or in a video game or somewhere. That's the content behind the music. So it's, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you got to understand, music is like creating a theme song for life, where the images and, behind the scenes and, stuff like that is what really builds you up, and it tells people who you are, so they can really connect with you and want to go get your music to check out what you're talking about later on. You know what I'm saying? So content is very important. Content is it bridges the gap almost.
I think now we're getting to the point where people actually realize that music is really only 10% of the pie, and the other 90% is business. And part of that business has become content.
Right.
And seeing you behind the camera and seeing you in front of the camera actually inspires me a couple ways. Let me tell you why. I don't like being on camera. most of my interviews, I'm not on camera. I only do this for the podcast, and even they still don't get to see me if they listen to it on Spotify or iTunes. Make sure y'all subscribe to that, by the way.
Subscribe.
That's right. But one of the most important things that you show when you're behind the camera is your vision. What do you see in music that most people don't get that you bring to them when you produce your art?
Oh man. So like I'm talking about music nowadays and just certain videos and stuff like that. Like the creative mind behind these videos, a lot of the time is big, huge, and you see like these crazy effects and stuff going on. But like we pride ourselves on like, you know, we do have our videos where it's just like motion and dancing and stuff like that. Yes, because you know a lot of content is created to get your mind off of things and to bring you to a place of enjoyment. So that's why we create a lot of content. But most of the content that we create, and it's very important to me that you know that it stays part of the brand that we do, is we take thought into it. So we're building storylines, and yeah, we have these dancing parts and performance scenes, but we're also trying to put a story into it. And so the story's built off of like, you know, what we see. We take what we see and we make it something for the people to understand and digest and make it something that they can fathom rather than just assume what we're doing, or you know what I mean. We want to keep the life in it, the soul in it, let's say, because that's what it's missing, is a lot of soul. And so being able to portray my vision through the camera is, like I said, putting a little piece of my soul out there for people. Hopefully the people love it. And so far they've been loving it. You know what I mean? So far they love it crazy. So, and I think that's a lot of the part of me just keeping that soul in it and keeping that vision in it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the times we forget what we've seen. And so, you know, we rely on photos and videos and like that's the way where it's become. Like we do a lot of memories, but we also document the memories and we put them out so that people can also digest them and feel what we felt. You know what I'm saying? So they can connect.
Connection is very important. So let's go to the heart of connection. Let's remind the people, what borough are you from?
I'm from the Bronx, baby. Bronx born. You know what I'm saying? Long Island raised representative. You know, I was raised in the Bronx and in Long Island for most of my youth. But you know, I'm a New York baby. So
let's represent both of those areas. Let's go to the Bronx. I call the Bronx the womb of hip hop.
Oh yeah.
Because sure. That's where they said it came from, the South Bronx, correct?
For sure.
So let's go to the womb. And when a baby grows and it becomes a man, it has respect for its mother in a way where it is very protective. What part of the womb is still protective in hip hop when it comes to the Bronx? How does the womb stay fresh to keep giving hip hop its rebirth year after year, artist after artist, in your opinion?
Oh man, the Bronx protects lyricism. Crazy. And that's why I love the Bronx so much, because it don't matter who come from the Bronx. He's a monster lyrically. Monster. And the Bronx prides itself. Every rapper that I know, every rapper that I've done a song with, every rapper that I've had a pleasure and honor to work with from the Bronx is a lyrical monster. I got on my new album, God King, that's coming out. I got P on there. I got Corey Guns. I got Whispers, Jadakiss artists. So I got a lot of Bronx artists on there. As you know, I've already worked with, you know, rest in peace, Fred the God. You know what I'm saying? And every single one of them artists that I named is a lyrical monster. And that's what is most protected, I feel like, in the Bronx, that keeps the culture of hip hop going strong, is the lyricism and the thoughtfulness behind the words, because a lot of wordplay is dead now, man. It's like really, really, really like ABC rap. And it really is just da 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 da. When it used to be da 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 da, you know what I'm saying? And it used to be crazy. So it's like, you know, anybody from New York is still doing something, out from the Bronx, let me say, is still doing something like that. You know what I mean? So they protect that lyricism. It's powerful.
Salute to the Bronx, because besides King F.L.O and the men he named, I like David Bars myself.
Oh yeah.
I think David Bars is nice.
Oh yeah.
And one thing I could say, I've always respected how New York artists who take it seriously and love the culture present their lyrics. I think Jersey got some of the most dangerous lyricists in the
Oh,
game. You know what I'm
hell,
saying?
Jersey gets utmost respect when it comes to lyrical rappers. There's no doubt about it. At least in
Yeah.
my book.
Yeah. Back to you though, because I'm not gonna go to the Jersey, New York thing. I'm gonna keep it King F.L.O.
Yes, sir.
But the thing about Long Island though, Long Island was about style and speech. So how do you
Right.
put that into your style?
So it's like the way we say things in Long Island is like a little bit different from anywhere else. But everywhere you go, not only can people tell that you from New York, but they can tell that you from Long Island by the way that you say things or the way that, you know what I mean, the way that you talk, like how you say bacon, egg, and cheese in one word, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that, the dialect. But it's like, I feel like it's originality out here. You know what I'm saying? Like people are, it's such a scene that is overlooked because I know like off the rip, just on my 10 people that I know that's creating clothing. So they have clothing lines out here. I know people that do graffiti, like crazy graffiti. You know what I'm saying? Like the culture out here for hip hop is crazy. And so I think they do like a little bit of the way that I grew up speaking around, all my Long Island people is like the way that I speak in my songs. So, although I like to keep what I say to be, I'm a man, so I have different facets of me. You know what I'm saying? So I keep myself a little bit of from everywhere I go, but from Long Island, I take the way that I say things and the slang that I use and the way that I probably dress, I would say, and like, you know what I'm saying? So little things like that. You know what I'm saying? So I would say the way that we say our words and the way that I twist it up a little bit mixed with what I came up with in the Bronx, it's just added to the arsenal of who I am because I just take different parts from everywhere that I've been and things that I've learned. So I take the style and the panache that I get from Long Island. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask King F.L.O this question because he's claiming 2 territories, and that right there expands his reach. Are you the hero or the villain in the story?
Oh man, I guess it depends on who you asking, right? Because I could be somebody's hero and I could be somebody's villain. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on who you asking. In my story, I'm definitely the hero.
Okay.
In my story, I definitely came from somewhere that was a rough place, and a lot of people that I know, including my best friend who got killed when we was 13 years old. Rest in peace to my bro. They ain't make it, and I've been blessed not only to make it. I almost took myself out the game, getting myself locked up and doing stupid stuff like that, but I've been blessed to overcome and be able to learn from mistakes, which a lot of people don't. So in my story, I'm the hero because I went from that to doing what I'm doing now, all in the attempts to getting everybody around me to live, good. Even when I wasn't living in the greatest conditions, I always still had the best intentions and have the best, ambitions for my people. You know what I'm saying?
So to me, you're the greatest villain that's being recorded. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why you're one of our favorite villains. You ever went to the Chinese food store and you see the statue of the guys in green and stuff, and they're sitting and they got the candles around them?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever see the one with the long beard?
Yep.
He's a god to the Chinese people. And as a hero, he's the god of like endurance, strength, and loyalty. And as we know, loyalty is one of the hardest things to come across because people will always stab you in the back for their own self-interest.
Right.
So he's a hero for that. But he's also a villain to the people because he kept his word to another man and had to turn against his brother for a minute to pay a debt. And because his loyalty made him go fight on somebody else's side, he became a villain to certain people, only in the end to be made a god.
Right.
You're the God King for your new album.
Absolutely.
So what is the title of God? How can God play hero and villain in other people's story?
That's crazy. God, the title of God is something that's so powerful, and you know, it has a lot of responsibilities. But just like you said, just like I said before, you know, I'm the villain in some people's stories, and I'm the hero in some other people's stories. That's what God is. You know, some happens to somebody terrible, you know, cancer to kids and stuff like that, and somewhere somebody's cursing God. How could you let this happen? You know what I'm saying? But then, you know, you got people who go through whatever they go through and still are able to thank God. So, like I say, God is the embodiment of all energy in life. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has good energy and bad energy, positive and negative energy. God is that. The ability to control that is to be able to say, I'm God. I can control the positive around me, or I can be destructive and destroy everything around me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I feel like it is. But the God King is somebody who is, you know, back in the Egyptian times, let's say, the pharaohs used to, you know, they used to call themselves God kings. They were mandated. Their bloodline was mandated from a heavenly source, something greater than them, a greater energy. So, like I explained before, I came from struggle, and you know, I had to do a lot of things in order to survive, and you know, broke laws and whatever the case may be. So I could be a villain in somebody's story, but I was mandated to be something better and to bring better to my people and build my community, because they said man could build or destroy. I am only a man, but I was mandated here from God to be a king amongst the people. You know what I'm saying? So
shout out to the God bodies, because they say that all the time. You know what I'm saying? And that's in Psalms for everybody who reads the Bible, that says, ye are gods, but yet you will die as men. And when he talks about pharaohs, the pharaohs believe that they were ordained
yeah.
to be kings from the line of spiritual beings. That's why they were elected as kings or pharaohs of the people. And,
Right.
and hip hop is the same way, because being lyrical is a gift. And then when people respect and honor your gift, you are elected as one of the elite or the best of the best.
Right.
I've seen you around Styles P before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
One
see,
of
I
my
watched King F.L.O.
that's one of my, you know, that's one of my favorites of all time. One of the greatest to me is Styles P. Word. So I've been blessed to work with him many times. In fact, I think we about to do something with. I think we about to do something with him tomorrow. Shouts to the guy Styles P. Man, word.
He got an album coming out, but back to King F.L.O. I've
Oh, yeah.
seen you around Styles P, and the respect he gives you is not only here, it's here too. I've seen you
Right.
around. I've seen you around men who've built labels, but you still move in a way where you're your own entity. Though you could be a part, you're also building yourself.
Right.
See
Right.
the main thing about a god is gods, you could say create and destroy, right?
Right.
But kings also have rulership. Be a king for me right now and talk to me as your scribe. What are the things the king needs to keep so he can stay a king and not get his head chopped off when somebody comes for the crown?
You have to keep the respect of your people. The people can love you, but if they're matched with fear to that love will fold. If people respect you, they'll die for you. Respect will take you further than anything in this world. And I've learned that, you know, you could just tell by how people carry themselves. If you ever meet somebody who doesn't have no respect for themselves or doesn't have no respect for people or life, you see a different energy from them. It's a whole different aura. And so if you're a king, you can't please everybody all the time. So everybody's not going to love you. You know what I'm saying? And if you're too heavy-handed as a king and the people fear you, they won't respect you and they'll turn on you. You know what I'm saying? So it's a balance. So that's what I would say. In order to be a king, you have to maintain that balance of respect, fear, and love.
I want to add something else to it. The most effective kings are the ones who get their hands dirty with the people, not just instruct the people.
Absolutely. 100%.
So on Last Action Hero, one of the new songs by King F.L.O on his new album, God King, coming out very soon. Haha, I got it, you don't. I'm gonna tell y'all, King F.L.O in the last verse talks about walking through glass and getting things done to make sure not only he's good, but his peoples are good too. So he's respected as a person who will go to the ends to be the best, whether it's lyrical, life-driven, or setting the tone. Why do you feel like as a lyricist and as a king or a God king at that you have to get dirty with the people, you have to get lyrical, you have to be in the ciphers, you have to be on them battles to make sure not only your crown isn't getting taken, but you're establishing yourself so other people can respect the rulership that you're giving them?
It's like I was saying about like cracking the whip too hard. If you cracking the whip and everybody is carrying you, eventually everybody's gonna get tired of carrying you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to show the people that you can carry yourself as well as them. In order for you to lead them, you got to show that not only can I lead myself, but I can lead y'all. And I can be in the mud with y'all. And I've been in the mud with y'all and I've came out, and that will help other people and inspire other people like, yo, he came from right where I came from. And he did everything that he was doing, and I seen him doing it, and he made something better for himself and for his people, and I could do the same thing. And hopefully it will inspire other king mind states, other God king mind states. Because I ain't the only one, you know what I'm saying? There wasn't only one, but everyone can be one, but it's just a matter of who's going to take that responsibility into their hands. Because once you claim that, it's a responsibility that comes with it.
So we need to put that God King on the shirt so I can get one, and we can
Got
promote
you,
this
baby.
thing. We can promote this thing the right thing.
We out there with it. You know what I'm saying?
I think the most ingenious thing about being a God King is people have to understand what being God is first, and then being a king.
Right.
Because this is my next part of the question I want to ask you about God being a God King. It ain't that corny Frank Ocean shit. We ain't gonna ask what the king to a god and the god to a king. We don't care about that. Gods are known to be immortal, and the Most High God is known to be righteous because he's immortal. And a king is supposed to be a reflection of God to the people. So break down your immortality and how you're giving it to the people.
So, first and foremost, my immortality would start with my bloodline, my children. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes me God, is the fact that I'm able to create my children and hopefully raise them to be stronger, better men than I was. Secondary to that is, my music, my word. So my word, even a king, like, let's just break it down real quick. A king is still a man, and a man is still flawed. A man is still flawed by free will and choice. So in order for like a legacy to be left behind that would resemble that of a God king or something like that, you would first have to master yourself as a man first, and understand what it is to be a man, and understand how to build off of the flaws that you are given, because you are given flaws for a reason, to teach you lessons. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people don't get past the point to learn that, these flaws were to teach me how to be stronger, or to teach me how to overcome this, so they don't get past that. But self-mastery is one of the greatest things that you can do. So, master how you feel, master controlling your emotions, master what you say, how you say things, master, just master your boundaries on how you let other people deal with you and how you deal with other people. Carry yourself in a certain way to where people understand, like, he's not a jerk or nothing like that, but he's not to be tampered with, or he's not to be fooled with. And then once you do that, then you can understand what it is to be a God, because being a God is more selfless. You have more pain being a God. You understand what I'm saying? And that's where self-mastery comes in, because if you can't handle your emotions, if you can't master sadness, if you can't take someone's sadness, that you walk in the room and feel their energy, and now you drained and feeling sad and you depressed, now if you can't master that, there's no way that you can be a God. There's no way that you can be in that level, because being a God comes with pain, it comes with loss, it comes with sacrifice. If you ever look at any of the stories about any of the gods and any of the type of ideology, every god has sacrificed something that made them lose their mortality. They shed their flesh. You know what I'm saying? And once I shed my flesh, although my flesh is not perfect and I will shed my flesh, hopefully my spirit becomes strong enough by the things and actions that I do on earth, where I leave behind a piece of myself through my visuals, through my songs, through my children, through helping other artists put their visuals out and stuff like that. You know, you understand what I'm saying? That's forever. That's never gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? It's perpetual. And that's where I leave a part of myself as a God King.
See how profound this man is? I told you, hip hop is not about people think we just sell drugs and we're violent. We have very intellectual men and scholars in this culture, and we're listening to one right now. But part of what you said, you reflect on how you pick your beats. Because in the title track, God King, the sample sounds like somebody singing the praises of a king as he's walking through the people. And
Absolutely.
I like how that sample accompanies the flow and the technique of the rhyme delivery, because it's like as the king talks, he's demanding respect of the people, and the people are there with him.
Right.
So guys, and talk about it. Like, why did you choose it for that? Like, talk about that track and why is it so strong?
That track right there, I'm not gonna lie, I was going through the beats for the album. I had picked a whole bunch of beats out, and I was going a whole bunch of producers that sending me beats, you know, the whole typical routine. I make beats myself, so I'm like, should I use these beats, and should I but I had the privilege and honor to meet somebody online, and we had a collaborative effort, and one of my peoples actually from Africa, Yusuf, sent me the sample. Shout out to Yusuf Latif. He runs a ride show in Africa now. He's doing great out there. That's my brother, but he sent me this. It was some old, I don't even know where he got it from, but it was something on YouTube. And I heard it, and me and my mans online was playing it over and over and over. And he just came up with this crazy drum loop behind it, and I chopped it up. And it went from there. And actually, that's where the idea of the album was born, because I wasn't even gonna make an album. God King was just I did a video with Fred the Godson before he passed. Rest in peace, Fred. That's my bro. And he made a joke. You know, he was like, Godson, King F.L.O, God King. And so that's where I originally started thinking, marinating on what that could really mean. But when I made that record, God King, it just all pieced it together for me. And that sample was I just imagined myself in tattered clothing and walking through a shadow of people, like you said, reaching out to me, but there was light. And every time the light hits me, you can see the gleaming jewelry, and you can see the gleam in my beard. But every time I hit the shadow, you would see the tattered clothing, and you know what I'm saying? And so that was the vision that I had for the song when I was making it. And that's just what the feeling that it made me have. And I've been doing, like, I didn't, honestly, that song was just, I didn't even write that song. I got in the booth, I was feeling it, I was smoking bud, and I just put that shit down. And it was just a feeling, man. It was just something that I felt.
Flo, I need you to come to Jersey and get on my man's show. Shout out to Chief Bally and the Bally Hour, because we need to celebrate more music that like you make. And the reason why is because the impact of music is either going to be a gut punch or a spirit break. How do you describe your music? Is it punching people in the gut, or is it an upliftment to the spirit that makes people get up and do more?
I think that it's a little bit of both. So with my music, you get the punch in the gut real quick, but then you hear it again, and it's like, damn, what did he just say? Damn, that's crazy. He just said that. Then I play it again, and then that's when the spirit gets invoked on you. And you're like, damn, this brother's really saying something. He not just, he's saying something, because what I do is I'll mix a part of myself that's darkness, but I also mix a way for you to find your way out the darkness into the light with every line. You know what I'm saying? So it's some darkness in there, like how I used to sell drugs on the train when I was coming up. To have to come up and sell drugs on the train, but while I'm selling drugs, I'm thinking like if I get this off, I could put together a tour or something. You know what I'm saying? Really get out there. You know what I'm saying? But I still had to do this to feed my people. You know what I'm saying? So so it's just a contrast. So I like to put a little bit of both in there, so I could so you could understand more. Like, yeah, it's a negative and everything, but you could also find a way out of that negative with you know what I'm saying? Words are powerful, crazy powerful words. You understand what I'm saying? So
that's why you're the hero and villain, Flo. Because for the people who don't have the voice, you're giving them words to live, build, and heal by. And you're the villain because the people who don't want us to be heard, you're the person that's causing the revolution, even though it's not televised, it's being streamed. You're the reason why that revolution is being acknowledged now. And I salute you for that. So with that being said, everybody, unfortunately, we came to the end of our time. How we do, Flo? Did we do good, bro? What's up?
My brother, man. Every time that's why I don't understand, man. I gotta come out and check you more often, man. We gotta definitely get up, man, because you one of the best interviews out. I always say that too, man. I always say that. Even when we had that little group thing, it was everybody, but you still got right into it and got, you know what I'm saying, got to the nitty-gritty, and I appreciate that word.
And I appreciate the simple fact that you are who you are. A lot of people always ask me, what I got to do for you? Hey, Flo, I'm going to tell you what you could do for me. Be the best father that you can be the best MC, be the best content creator, and just let's link up when it's time. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it, baby. Likewise, you already know,
look,
man.
Unlike other people, I'm very proud of you. And most men won't tell another man they're proud of them. I'm going to tell you why I'm proud of you. Because when life tries to beat you down, you always come up with your hands up. But like a good boxer, sometimes you take a punch, but your counter punch is just as effective as a great defense. So please give everybody your social media so they can follow you and get that album that's coming.
Hey, listen, man, y'all can follow me at The Real King F.L.O 360 _ federal on Instagram, King F.L.O everywhere else. And be on the lookout for the God King, man. God King video right now on YouTube. Thank you for everybody who's been supporting. We have hit 100K. Let's run it up to even more than that. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Go check that out on YouTube right now. The album is dropping later this month. God King.
And with that being said, hey, Flo, you trying to do the rapid fire questions again, or you going to tap out? What we going to do?
Let's go. I'm ready.
All right. Well, guess what? You've been on the show before. So the rapid fire questions are not yes, no questions. These are questions to talk about your understanding the depth of the hip hop culture. So being that you were on the show before, I got new questions for you, Flo. You ready?
Let's go.
All right. Here's a question that you have not answered. What album or song from another artist perfectly describes you?
Nori, Super Thug.
My man.
Shout out to Nori, man. That's my bro, but Super Thug. What? As soon as I hear that beat, I turn into an animal thug in cages. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Flo, because you also get behind the camera, what movie perfectly describes your hip hop style?
Oh man, that's a great question. I would have to say Belly.
Whoa, okay. Belly. From who perspective? Which one? Which character?
I would have to say from Sin's perspective, from Sincere.
Yeah.
Word, yeah.
Oh, that's nasty. Okay. King F.L.O has an album coming out, and two producers are battling for the right to produce him. And King F.L.O's perfect album, who's producing that album? Pete Rock or Premier?
Premier.
Okay,
Premier. I love Premier.
Who's producing that album? Wait. Who's producing the album? Dr. Dre or Timbaland?
I love Timbaland, but I'm gonna have to, I don't know, because Dre take too long, man. You know what I'm saying? Holla at Dre, yeah, it take too long out here, so I'm gonna have to say Timbaland on that one. Word. Me and Timbaland to pop out a couple of them Jones.
Let's throw a dark horse out there. Who's producing the album? DR Period or Hit Boy?
Hit Boy.
Okay. See how we go. We know beats over here too. Don't think Heritage Hip Hop's all about people who rhyme. We know that stuff too. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
What's the most important instrument in hip hop, and how does it reflect your style?
Me personally, or what? In
Oh, you
violin.
personally. I love the
Violin.
violin. That's my second favorite instrument. The song Benny Siegel did, "I'm a ride for my niggas, get high." Remember that violin part? That
Yep.
set the song off.
Facts.
What song
Violin.
with a violin is you?
What song with a violin? Hate Me Now.
Oh, hey, Flo, we jamming over here. Everybody, this is what we do on Heritage Hip Hop. Make sure y'all tap in and subscribe, like, share, comment, subscribe, and make sure you jump on with us. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Flo,
You know
I got 3 more questions for you. Then we gonna break. All right.
Let's get it.
Everybody talks about that Mount Rushmore hip hop, Jay-Z, Big Daddy Kane, Coogee Rap, Biggie, whoever, right? But there's a foundation even to Mount Rushmore that those people who are being held up, they stand on their shoulders. Who is the
Absolutely.
foundation of King F.L.O's style, and how does King F.L.O keep the Mount Rushmore alive with his style?
I gotta say, like a little KRS, a little Rakim, a little Pun, a little, you know what I'm saying? It's a couple of artists that you could find, you know, I have the influence of them in my music. I would have to say a little bit of Kane in there, a little bit of Big L. It's a couple of artists that I would say that I just, you know, come up listening to. I wouldn't say that I really uh emulate them, but I will take a little, you know, a little pattern sometimes here and there and flip it around a little bit. You know, sometimes people notice, sometimes they don't, but I always like to pay homage to them and always put them in my music somewhere or another, whether it be like a little beat play that KRS did on one of his songs. I might put that in one of my songs. Just people might not catch it, but it'll be there. You know what I'm saying? And people who listen for it will know. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I think we're doing great. I want to ask you another question. You get to pick how you want this question to be delivered to you, though. Sports or comic books? Which one would you rather go with?
That's a good. Let's do comic books.
What's your favorite superhero team?
Superhero team?
Yeah.
The team, you heard? My favorite superhero team gotta be the Avengers.
All right. So the Avengers were superheroes of the people that fought against cataclysmic chaos and became a super team. You're part of Federal District Records. Salute to Nimrod. That's my guy.
Shouts to Nimrod the God, man. It's good.
Who is King F.L.O on the Avengers, and how was that team Federal District Records?
Oh man, nah. If we gonna compare Federal District Records, we gotta compare Federal District Records to the Legion of Doom.
Uh-oh, so hey, let's take it
we the super villains out here, you heard?
So who are you on the Legion of Doom, and how is Federal District the Legion of Doom?
Oh man, I gotta be let me see, who could I be on the Legion of Doom? I gotta be Solomon Grundy. You know what I'm saying? Because I come through smashing them. You know what I'm saying? I come through smashing it up. I got no remorse and no feelings. You know what I'm saying? It's like they can't kill me because I'm already dead out here. You heard? I'm already killing them out here. So I'm already past that. You know what I'm saying? Nimrod, that's Lex Luthor. You know what I'm saying? Everybody hate Nimrod. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whenever he want to bring somebody out to come smash it up, he calls Solomon Grundy. You heard?
I respect that. Everybody, make sure you subscribe to Heritage Hip Hop on all social media, because this interview is available on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and Anchor.fm. King F.L.O's music is available on social media, but we don't believe in streaming. If he has something out there to purchase, make sure you purchase the music, because through purchasing your music, you don't rent your music. And we just lived through Donald Trump and COVID. Just say the internet grid went down next. If you don't own your music, you don't have it. And if you like King F.L.O or you love King F.L.O's music, make sure you buy it to show my man some respect. And believe me, King F.L.O is going to be on Heritage Hip Hop playlist number 9 coming real soon. So
let's go.
Hey,
let's go.
So F.L.O, my last question is this question. The first question from the interview, the last question was about legacy. Now this is the second question. As hip hop evolves, we're going to see it change and go into different lanes. What is the evolution of hip hop in your opinion, and how are you setting the groundwork for it to evolve that way?
I think, like I said before, man, I think that we putting the soul back into the music. So I think that when you listen to our music or when you see our visuals, it can put you in a place and time, just like all the timeless music that you ever heard before in your life. So you could hear a song that's timeless and it'll take you back to them days when you was in high school trying to put your arm around that girl and cop a feel on her titty. Our music gonna bring you to that time and place. You know what I'm saying? Like I said to somebody else the other day, like people in the future are going to refer to us when they say, yo, that's some timeless shit right there, whether it be visuals, music, like I said, putting out another artist that's timeless. That's what we doing, man. We putting the soul back into the game, and that's going to be the legacy, is bringing the soul back into this lifeless mechanical, because it's any artist that is out there is going to tell you, man, this shit is real mechanical now, and that's what we're trying to change. We're trying to bring it back to the soul. You know what I mean?
Well, everybody out there that's watching or listening, the soul is timeless. And time is very relative. So when everybody says things will get better in the future is now. And part of being now and being futuristic is being ahead of the curve. So be ahead of the curve and get this man's music, because when people catch up to it later, you're going to be the first to have it. And why y'all always rush to be the first, be the best, because the best knows the value and the best knows the authenticity of the original is better than the copy or word of mouth that came later.
Huh?
This is Karev of Heritage Hip Hop with my man King F.L.O of Federal District Records saying peace, and we out.
Peace, God.
Thank you for watching our presentation. We ask that you subscribe to our YouTube family and hit the notification bell for updates. Please like, comment, and share this video.
Real hip-hop. Real hip-hop. We here. Real hip-hop. For real.